So let's keep the wheels of progress and moving. PPE. What's that stand for?
Personal protective equipment.
Personal protective equipment. So let's talk about it. 21.1. Off the job use. Yes. Anything they give you for your on the job safety, personal protective equipment, they don't care if you use that at home. If you wear it out, if you break it, just get some new stuff.
That doesn't come out like paycheck or anything, it's all free.
Absolutely not. You guys didn't happen to see any PPE machines? Yeah, you did. It was right there at the elevator. That's all you got to do. You usually put your user ID in it.
Oh, is that what that
Yeah.
machine was?
Yeah, it's not candy.
No.
I mean, I didn't look inside of it. I
Yeah.
just figured it
It'd
was.
be nice if they
The
did,
one with
yeah.
the vest and all that?
Vest, got gloves, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You just put your user ID in there and A7, get you a new pair of gloves, right?
It'd be nice if they gave you a
Now listen, you don't pay for it, right? But every time you use it, it records your user ID, right? So you don't want to be the guy that worked for me one time and I get a report on him and in 30-day period, he had like 78 pairs of gloves, right? That's a little suspect. And I will tell you, it turned out to be not much. He had to have a new pair of gloves every time he went to work. You know, he was that kind of guy. But I will tell you this, don't steal from the company. And if it's a penny, it's still theft. And they will fire you so quick, you will never get back on that job. Don't do that. They pay you too good to do that anyway. And you know, you say, well, that takes some guts. Well, not really. A lot of people, the way they get in trouble, the railroad provides you bottled water to drink. So before you go get on your train, you know, they might take you by the watershed, or it might be right outside your office door. They'll have a pallet of water, and you'll reach in, maybe grab a case or grab a couple of 6-packs and take to your train, so you'll have cold water. Sometimes when these guys get home from a trip and they tie up and they're getting ready to go to their car, they walk out the door and they're like, grab a couple of 6-packs and take it to their house. Don't think nothing of it. That's stealing from the company. And I've seen people get fired for that. Okay, so I got off on a tangent there.
Is that only in like large quantity? So like if you throw it in your lunchbox or something, you know, they're not gonna get you for that. I mean, not like a 6-pack, but you know, some of us like to keep water cool in our lunchbox. You know, have it with us.
Yeah, that, or, you know, there's nothing wrong with like going home and walking by the water thing and grabbing you a bottle for the road. You know, they don't care about that. Additional PPE, finger rings, we know about that when you're out there. And you know why, obviously, right? Gets caught on a bolt or something like that. And all those sayings are true, by the way. That's what happens. Gets caught on a bolt, off goes your finger. I've had a lot of students ask me, why can you wear watches in, right? Because a watch is not like a full metal deal. It's going to give at some point. It's going to break. It's not like a metal ring. You got to be familiar with your PPE and wear it for its intended use. Okay? Safety glasses, got to be approved. Okay? Safety approved glasses. Here's the thing I like to point out for glasses. Absolutely no amber lenses, yellow lenses. You know why?
Because it'll change the color to signal.
I mean drastically. The colors of the signals. You can't tell what color they are.
So like a clear signal through yellow could turn into like blue.
Either that or it will look yellow. A red signal, you might construe that as a yellow.
Oh boy.
I mean, they really mess it up. Don't wear your dark glasses at night if you're a conductor. And you say, well, that's common sense. I don't need you to tell me that. Well, apparently I do. Because I'm in the yard one night driving around, and I see a conductor up there setting a bad order out of his train. I thought I'd go up and talk to him. And I get out of the car, and, you know, it's one of the conductors. And he's got his dark glasses on. I said, Mark, what in the world are you doing with them dark glasses on? You know, and he can't see. So he's got them pulled way down here where he can look over the top of them, you know. Exactly. He said, well, boss, boss, I forgot my clear ones that, you know. I said, we'd only have like 400 pair in the office. I can give you a pair, you know. Some of the things you see.
You seem like one of those nice managers.
Well, I could get riled up when I had to. I would rather not get riled up. It's funner not to, you know. Hard hats. We don't wear hard hats, right? Train service.
Oh.
We don't wear hard hats. Conductors and engineers. Maintenance away folks do. Mechanical folks do. We don't. So let's not say that too loud because somebody might hear that and make us start wearing them. Right there.
Okay.
Hand protection. Got to protect them hands. Gloves. Okay. Now there are times, anytime you're out there working and touching the equipment, right? You're supposed to have your gloves on. Now there are times where you might have to do something that requires, you know, fine dexterity. Like you have to get something small and you can't do it if you got gloves on, right? You are allowed to remove your glove and do that. As soon as you're done, glove goes back on. Okay?
When you're inside the cab, you don't have to wear gloves.
You don't have to wear gloves. Most time you don't have to wear earplugs if the windows are closed. Vest, none of that. Glasses.
Do you get like winter issued stuff once cold weather comes around? Or?
Well, they give you cold weather gloves.
Okay.
That and they'll give you ice, anti-slip footwear, you know, stuff like that. And a lot of times if your managers are good and they got money to burn, you know, they might buy a bunch of beanie caps or something like that. Hey, it's free stuff.
Can you do it?
Railroaders love free stuff.
Free's good.
Yeah, like a free water bottle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Free shirt or something.
Okay, enhanced visibility workwear, that's your vest. Okay, you gotta wear that anytime you're out there working. For the BNSF, it has to be orange. Okay, just like the ones you got. Some other railroads are different. UP wears like neon yellow. Okay. Hearing protection, here's what you need to know. There are certain times you need to wear it. You don't have to wear it all the time. Okay. Here's what I want you to take away right here. So here's how this works. If you and me are out there talking to one another, outside or somewhere, we're in an area to where we're talking to one another and we're having to raise our voice to hear one another at a distance of only 3 feet apart. If the ambient noise around us is loud enough for us to have to raise our voice that close together, you're probably in an area to where you ought to have your hearing protection in. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like the hump yard.
Yeah, well, we got set distances for
Yeah,
that. If you're within 100 feet of a master retarder, you gotta have your hearing protection in. Okay? But if we're just carrying on conversation outside, we're in an area to where I'm only 3 feet from Lawrence, and I gotta raise my voice because he can't hear me because of the noise, they're saying you need to have your hearing protection in. You'll see that again. Here's some other times, if you're on a locomotive under load, hearing protection. 100 feet of a hump operation, hearing plugs in. Safety boots, this is what you gotta have right here. Leather or leather tight, non-leather sole, resist puncture, 3/8 to an inch, defined instep. You know what that means? What that bullet statement is referring to?
Which one?
3/8 of an inch to an inch, defined instep. The heel. You have to have on your boots a defined heel, like this. You have to have a defined heel. You got a defined heel? Yeah, you got a defined heel. You know why?
Ankle support.
Mm-mm.
When you're standing on top of.
When you're getting on that equipment and you put your foot up there to get into that stirrup, we don't want you sliding all the way through. That's happening. Okay, and then you get drugged down the rail because at this time you could get on moving equipment. Can't do that anymore. That's why you want a defined heel, so you got something to catch that. Above the ankle, you saw that, 5 inches. So you want it at least 5 inches high for ankle support, right? My boots are 8-inch boots, only because that's what feels good to me, more support. But you can wear what you want to wear, as long as they meet these requirements. Physical exertion, always use safe lifting practices. And you do have, lots of different times to where you're doing some kind of lifting, whether it's drawbar moving or bending over to get your grip. 25.2, right?
Yeah.
That's the rule number.
Saw a blank page.
Don't use excessive force when you're out there doing your work. Even if you're doing the drawbar, aligning it by yourself, and it's hard to do, you can get somebody to try to help you. And if the both of you can't do it, don't worry about it. Call somebody. You're not out there to get hurt. Stretches. We did stretches the other day for our tour. Remember that? They expect you to do your stretching exercises. And it's good for you to do that, especially if you have one of those bad days that you do a lot of walking and stuff like that. So it's a good thing. Here's what I tell you about stretching. Mechanical folks and maintenance away people, they have set hours, right? They all show up at 7 a.m., go to work. They have a job safety briefing. All right, boys, this is what we're doing today, right? And at the end of that safety briefing, they say, all right, now spread it out. They go around the room, spread out, and they do their stretching exercises all together. Mechanical folks do the same thing. We don't do that. The reason we don't do that is because we always go to work at different times. Okay? Today you might get called at 10 a.m. The next time you get called, it might be at 1:30 a.m., So you never know. You might come into the crew room to get your paperwork and there won't be a soul around. The next day you come in, it'll be 500 people in there. So we don't do that. But the expectation is still there, okay? That you're gonna do your stretching before you have to do stuff like that, okay? So that's where we'll leave it. Now, when we go to the field in week 4, we're going to stretch every day, okay, every morning. Why? Because we're all there. It's a standard event every day. We're all doing the same things. We're going to stretch, okay? Here's what I tell you about that. Don't overstretch. You can hurt yourself. Do what you can do. Okay? Remind people that stretching is not a competition. Have you ever been in a situation to where you're doing something like that, right? You're stretching with a group of people, you know, physical fitness exercises and stuff like that. And you always got one guy in the crowd that's got to show you how good he is, right? We've all seen him, you know. And the man in charge, he says, all right, boys, let's stretch it out a little bit. Spread your legs shoulder width apart. He says, bend down and touch your toes. Okay, stretch it out. So everybody in the whole group's doing this number here. Just kind of easing down, stretching it out, right? But you got old smart aleck over here. He goes down. He comes back up the other side and waves to everybody to show you how limber he is, right? You ever seen anybody like that? Stretching's not a competition. You do what you can do. You're not there to show off, okay? So it's about moving the muscles, not getting hurt, and being able to do your job.
Can't you overstretch? And then if you're showing off, I mean,
You can definitely overstretch. You can pull a muscle. Yeah.
right.
Now, of course, my example was a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point, right? The end.